we are in for a long stretch of hot weather, triple digits for the next few days or so after today. And we know that might put a strain on the Texas power grid. Joining us this morning to talk about that is Jessen Bradshaw, CEO of Energy Ogre. Jessen, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. How about yourself? I'm good.
Good. Yeah, well, you know, we're inside. The AC's working here, so that's a good thing. I mean, this is probably, I guess, the first real test of the grid this season, right?
That's right. As we get into the summer type season with these big heating loads, these big air conditioning loads with big heat out there, we're moving into the first big test of the year.
All right. What do you think, is the grid ready at this point?
Well, you know, as you mentioned, this is the big test, and every year, you know, we have warm temperatures. Being hot in the summertime is nothing new for the system, so our system is geared for it being hot. We have to contend with, you know, every year we have some new power plants that come online, some older power plants that come online. We have a lot of new people that are moving to Texas. So there's a lot of planning that goes into this for us to make as many preparations as possible. And, you know, everyone's ready to go as much as possible for you know, these temperatures as hot as they are.
Now, you folks at Energy Ogre you basically help people find the lowest price for electricity. Is that right? Can you tell people a little bit about how you guys operate?
Sure. In simplest terms, we help people make good decisions around the electricity plan that they're selecting. We make those selections for them based upon how they use electricity. For a lot of people, you know, they get sidetracked with other things. Real life happens, and focusing on electricity plans is not always front and center for folks. So we try to take all the guesswork and make it as easy as possible by trying to take care of it as much as we can to focus on reducing your electricity bill as much as possible.
And coincidentally, a handful of us in the studio use Energy Ogre. That's not why we had you on today, but it is worth noting. Let's talk more about what we're facing with this summer. I mean, this heat wave this week, Jessen's not going to be the only one, most likely. What are some ideas that you guys have at Energy Ogre for those of us out here to conserve electricity along the way and maybe try to save some money if we can this summer?
Sure, that's a great point. And it's always a good time, these times of year, when people are paying attention. A lot of times we don't pay attention to what's going on with electricity until there's, you know, it's in the news like this or something like that. But it's always a great idea to run through your house when you have a moment, you know, get home on Saturday, weekend, whatever have you, and just look at the things that you have that are plugged in that you don't need to have plugged in. You would be shocked at how much small demand over long periods of time that actually ends up adding up to. Simple other types of things. You know, if you know that you have a problem with a door that doesn't seal correctly, you know, get yourself some $5 sealing tape and make sure your windows and doors seal. It'll make a huge difference in terms of how hard your air conditioner works. Another super simple thing that people don't pay attention to very often is changing the filters out in your AC system. When they're plugged up and they're clogged, those systems work really, really hard, and they consume a lot more electricity, and it actually wears out some of the life of the systems themselves, and no one wants to be without air conditioning in the summertime here. And then separately, when you know there's a system-wide type of an emergency that's going on, there are other simple things that we can do, like, you know, in the heat of the day, in the afternoons from 4 to 6 to 4 to 10, if we can avoid, you know, do we need to really wash dishes in the dishwasher at that time? Maybe we can set that up to run a little bit later at night, or maybe we don't run our electric dryers. Some of those big demand things that are out there. We know folks need to have their air conditioning, you know, maybe changing the temperature set point a couple degrees, but in the end, trying to be conservation minded during those periods of time when the system needs it. But you can save yourself quite a bit of money by just, you know, looking at the small things over a long period of time.
Those are some great ideas. Jessen Bradshaw with Energy Ogre, thanks for your time today, sir. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.